What's up? This is AJ Leon at ajleon.me. Today I'm doing a book review on a new book by my good friend David Garland, and his book is called Smarter, Faster, Cheaper. It's a really interesting read. I got an advanced copy and I was taking a look at it while I was on the road trip that we were just on, the Rise of the Cubicle Farmer road trip. It's interesting for a few reasons. I think early entrepreneur, there's some chapters in there that are incredibly valuable for aspiring entrepreneurs. David talks a lot about, like not following the leaders. He compares big brand versus smaller startups and kind of extracts a lot of the tips and tricks that smaller startups and individual brands have used in the new web to get their name out there. And he calls into question the idea of following what's big and the big brand just because they're big, right? Just because they're huge doesn't mean that what they're doing now is working. I think chapter 2, where he talks about creating a foundation, that for an aspiring entrepreneur, chapter 2 is worth the value of the book right there. It goes into a lot of the things that he did right off the bat, and I mean step by step on what to do to set up your business in the new economy. And I think for people who have been in business for a little while and have started to kind of dabble in the Twitters and maybe set up a blog, I think chapter 8, where he talks about interviews, is something that struck me personally, right? This last road trip that I was on, the Rise of the Cubicle Farmer, I interviewed people all over. And as I'm reading David's, book on interviews and how he set up his business around this idea of interviewing thought leaders and aspiring entrepreneurs, or not, entrepreneurs that had done something, I realized that that's what I just did on this trip, and a lot of the benefits that he talks about are benefits that I've seen since doing this the project I was just on. So I think chapter 8 is a phenomenal read. Also chapter 11, when he talks about expanding your network, and he calls it the art of digital schmoozing. And I love it because he is really good at it. Anyone who knows David Garland or follows his blog, the Rise to the Top.com, knows that he's really good at marketing his product. And he's done really well over the course of the last 2 years. So anyways, I think this book is phenomenal. I think those three chapters alone, if sold as individual ebooks, I would have purchased them just as one-off copies. And I think that each of them are the value of the book alone. Certainly something that aspiring entrepreneurs should pick up, but in the later chapters he gets into things that even people who have been in business for a while, you're going to learn something. It's a very pragmatic book. His style is funny. If you've ever watched his blog, he's a funny guy, and it's a great read. So I suggest you guys check it out. Anyways, that's it for today. See ya.